Hi-Fi audio? I don't think so. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another Mr. Betamax video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at what I thought was a hi-fi audio issue with this HF100 Sony Betamax. But I think we might actually have a back tension issue. The reason I say that is I now, having played the tape and rewound it, I now don't get a picture unless I increase the back tension. And then if I get it right, I get a good picture and I get full hi-fi audio. So I just wonder if maybe the felt's gone a bit bad, or I mean, the deck is fine. The deck is fully aligned. Obviously, nothing wrong there. No tape creasing, nothing bad going on. It's a known tape, so I don't expect there to be any issues with that. But yeah, I'm really suspecting there's something wrong with the back tension. So I think what I might do is maybe just put the back tension gauge cassette in and just see what it's reading. Okay, so let's eject that, and I think this is the gauge we need. So we're looking at, thankfully somebody's actually written on what the reading should be. So for C2030, which this effectively is, look at about 30 grams. So now I seem to remember these can be a bit fussy about doing this. Yeah, it's reading 30. And take-up's pretty good as well. What's that? That's 120. So yeah, it's actually a bit high, interestingly. So the back tension is actually about right. I wonder what's going on there. That's a little bit odd. What is odd as well is that I remember when I sent this machine back previously after a repair, it was a bit temperamental with the hi-fi audio, and that only seems to have got worse. And I have to say, I did suspect capacitors on sort of the front end of the second stage. So the first stage is underneath on the head amp board, and then it goes through to the AF board underneath the tuner section here. Audio, this is linear audio, mono, and the front end caps is sort of the caps at the first stage. They're ulnar caps. I think they're 10 microfarad and 22 microfarad. They can get a bit leaky, causing this issue. But yeah, I'm sort of finding that it is actually fine when I increase the back tension. So I must have some sort of alignment issue, probably. Yeah, so, well, yeah, let's eject. I know the deck is performing well, even though it's really noisy. The lacing is really noisy on this. I did service it, but yeah, it sounds really noisy. But you know, that's fine. The person this is for, oh gosh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? Might have to look at that, because that's sounding really. I think it's just those planet gears in there are just really noisy. So yeah, let's just try it. The head bearings are also noisy as well. I have just changed the heads on this, which you'll see in another video, or might have already have seen. That's now working, and working really well. So I don't know. Is it something to do, like, heat related? I mean, it could be servo. It could be a servo issue, maybe on the capstan circuit. Once it warms up, it's fine, but it is. I mean, it's absolutely fine now. And I've got full hi-fi audio, and it's on center tracking, but tracking left. You get the speed variation, which is normal. Right, bit of noise, so it's good. It's all good. I do think I've got a bad cap here somewhere. Just wonder if the capstan's running slightly fast. Yeah, because we know that with these machines, don't we? HF100 capstan issues. You end up with a blown transistor and a couple of bad caps. I don't know. I think what I'll do, I'm going to leave this now. I'll leave it overnight and then try it again, I suppose. In fact, what I might do is just leave this tape play now, because those bearings, they need to bed in again. They're really noisy. I mean, this machine's seen a lot of hours and it's quite tired. But you know, it's working. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Just obviously we have something going on. So yeah, I'll leave this play, and then obviously power it off tonight, and we'll come back to it tomorrow and just see how it performs. My money is now on a bad capacitor somewhere in the servo circuit and somewhere in the capstan servo circuit. So yeah, we will crack on. Okay, so I think I have some sort of issue with the capstan speed. So I think what I'll do is I'll dig down to the SS28 board. I know in the in previous videos I've actually gone from underneath and sort of pulled the board out that way, but that is not really, I think, the way to do this. I think the way to do it is to get sort of dig down from the top to the top of the board, and then if you need to change a component, do that from the bottom, removing the baseboard, and yeah, just basically leave the SS28 in place. So need to remove the tuner board first, and this can just be unplugged and totally removed. The linear audio board can stay in place. And all of these connectors are unique, so you don't have to worry about labeling them up. So, boards out, and then you can then remove the screws from the AF board. So this is the Hi-Fi stereo processing board. And there we go. Possibly I might have to remove the RF modulator unit, but yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually give this a bit of a clean, bit of a dust out. So okay, so I do have, well, something going on. I mean, it feels like I'm not getting control pulses, and I may well have to get the scope out and check that. But if I adjust the ×1 adjustment, which is the capstan speed, and I get it somewhere near, it just cuts out. So that suggests to me that probably I've got some sort of control. Although, well, I don't know. Yeah, I need to investigate deeper. There's me thinking it was going to be a simple fix. But I did apply some heat, and, well, maybe that... let's put this back to where it should be. I do wonder if maybe the capstan motor itself might be suffering from bad caps. I think what I'll do is I'm going to leave this running and just see if it actually improves. It was actually somewhere around there. Because it is sort of trying to work. It's just a bit odd that the, I don't know, the phase lock loop isn't. It's really messed up. So yeah, let's leave that. It's actually more like there. Let's just leave that and let it sort of warm up, run for a bit, and see if that makes any difference. Well, after 5 minutes, it is actually working absolutely fine. Got full hi-fi stereo, and it's absolutely cool. Obviously, can't play too much of this. Let's mute that. But that's fine now. It's absolutely fine. See the ×1 adjustment there. But yeah, that's fine. So I do have bad caps, but I don't think it's on this board. Like I say, I warmed them up sort of all around this area. But we do have the cap, well, we have the 2 transistors on the subboard, but there's no caps there. So I'm just wondering if maybe it might be on the actual capstan motor. That could be fun. Okay, so it's the next day, so it's nice and cool. So let's just see if that adjustment, it was playing fine, it played fine all last night, no problem at all. Let's see if that's actually drifted. Well, it hasn't. That's absolutely fine. And we have hi-fi. Yeah, it sounds absolutely fine now. So I do think there's some drift going on. What could be causing that? I mean, we've got one of these. Sanyo caps, which I might change, possibly. There's another one there. I have known these give problems on these as well, at this sort of age. But yeah, I mean, just that little bit of an adjustment seems to have sorted it out. So that's good. I mean, I'll do another cold start. I'm going to turn this back off now and leave it for a couple of hours. It's quite cool up here as well. Yeah, I think that's all it needed. Great. And of course, another thing that would have been useful is using some freezer spray, which I have now just found. So yeah, I've sort of put some freezer spray on majority of the caps, transistors, generally the area around the capstan servo, and it's fine. It's absolutely fine. What I might do is just check the transistors on the bottom there, but other than that, I don't think there's anything else I can really do, because there's nothing to test for. It's working, and it literally now, it's just literally for those first few seconds, and that was a cold turn on as well. So literally I just switched it on at the mains, powered it on, pressed play, cassette already loaded. So literally that's a cold start, and within a few seconds it was happy. So yeah, so I'm going to power this back off now at the mains as well, and we'll give it a go in a few hours. Okay, so it's about 6 hours later, so let's power it on. And press play and see what happens. Well, that is playing fine. It's playing absolutely fine. This tape is a bit, well, it's very worn. But yeah, it's fine. The only thing I can think of, I mean, I really welcome your comments if you're used to these machines. What do you think will be the component that is failing? Or what do you think is going on with this? But my feeling is, and I don't know whether you remember when I looked at Russell's HF100 that had the fast running capstan motors going like full speed, and that started out with just a few seconds it would run fast at first switch on, and then it would settle down, and that got worse and worse and worse until it was doing it for an hour, and then it was all the time. And that turned out to be a transistor, which I think's under there, but basically it's in the stage just before basically the connector then goes through to the main drive transistor underneath, so that's underneath the power supply. So yeah, I just wonder if one of those transistors might be starting to go a bit leaky, but we'll see. I mean, this machine will go back now. I'm happy that it'll be fine. It's all good to go. But obviously at some point, and I did warn George on this before actually, that there was something not quite right with this machine, but he's used it, you know, for quite a while before he cleaned the heads, and we had the issue with those. But that something might happen, and to be fair, not much has. But that slight adjustment on the ×1 capstan speed seems to have stabilized it, and yeah, it's fine. So yeah, bit of an odd one, but I'd really be very pleased to hear your comments, and generally what you think about these machines as well. I know there's a lot of love for these machines, especially in the UK. I have mixed feelings. I think they're great if they're either low hours or they're properly gone through and everything's sorted out, which is, there's quite a lot to sort out with these really to get them just right. But if you get a high hours one, they can be a nightmare. So, but let me know in the comments what you think and how you get on with yours. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe as well, really means a lot to me. And yeah, see you in another video. Bye for now.